Welcome everyone to Flow Yoga. This is Danny. I'll guide your practice today, and make sure to take care of yourself throughout our time together. If there are any technical difficulties, say hello on the chat and let me know. All right, so one of the things that I love about yoga is just the creativity aspect and the ability to move in lots of various ways. And when I first started practicing, I was practicing quite often, like probably 6 days a week. And I appreciate that I actually was involved in yoga styles that weren't the same sequence all the time. So my body got a diversity of motion. And this is super important. So if you think about the human body, the human spine is designed to move in various ways. And why would we do the same repetitive action every single day? Over time, that's going to wear things out. So in our practice today, we're just going to play with that idea of working on a little bit of diversity of movements. So just notice the various ways that you can move throughout your body and your practice. A few things just to preview and show you. So this is towards the end of our class. When you're preparing for the final relaxation pose, I'm going to have you do a little shaking motion. It's like a wave-like motion with the whole body. So the key is the feet. They're like little engines working forward and back quite quickly. And this creates just a little massage for the whole back line of the body. So we're going to play a little bit with that. We're also going to play with, so if you have a block or a book, we're going to play with a few hip flexor strengthenings. So this is going to involve a block underneath of the sacrum and then playing with lifting leg to the sky and then lowering the leg either to hip height or to actually touch the heel to the ground, just to strengthen a little bit through the hip flexors. So we'll play with those two things, set up your props as you need them, and come up to a standing position to begin your practice. And if you're on a mat space, stand on the wide edge of your space, or you can also stand on the front edge, but just wider out with your feet a little bit more open. Finding a place of comfort, making little wiggles, movements, open through your mouth, your jaw, neck, head. And from there, settle into your stance. Take a deep, full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Sigh, sound. And from here, take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart center, make contact with your body. Do a little check-in here. Take inventory of what's going on for you physically, what's happening in your breath, and also what's present for you in your mind and your emotions. This opportunity to welcome yourself as you are into the here and now. Gently start to focus on your breath pattern. Begin to actively inhale more fully with awareness and consciousness. Breathe deeply. And take time to cultivate a full diaphragmatic breath, 360 degrees. So noticing the way that your whole torso moves as a result of the breath. So like a little piston or engine that is activating. And feel the sides of your body, the back of your body. If you use the ocean sounding breath, feel free to create that little added layer, contract the back of your throat. Keep the facial muscles relaxed as you allow for this humming sound. And from here, as you stay with your breath, create focus for your time in practice. It could be around this idea of diversity in movement or just the diversity in general that brings richness to life, whether that be of your personality or of those that surround you or of flavors, of experiences. And if that doesn't resonate with you, set a focus that does, that works for you today. And to acknowledge this, each other's company, take another deep, full breath. With the exhalation, gently bow head to heart center. Slowly release your arms, take on some light with your eyes and with your feet in this wider stance. On the inhalation, sweep your arms up to the sky. With exhalation, bend your knees, shift the weight back behind. Take your hands onto your thighs, press your sitting bones back. Another breath here, open through your front body, cow stretch. Exhale to back off the bend of your knees, round in, cat stretch. Move with your breath. Inhale to open, exhale to round. Final cycle at your own speed when you're rounded into the cat stretch. Use the next inhale cycle to straighten your legs, rise back up through center, circle the arms. With the exhalation, open the arms wide, lower the palms by the side of your body. Inhale, expand arms, lift to the sky. Exhale, once again, bend into your legs. Stay low to your degree. Inhale, sweep arms only back to the sky. With exhale, lean over to the right side. Elbows can bend and play. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to the left. Work with your body and breath here, honoring your range of motion. Explore your length in your side body. And final cycle to whichever side you're at. Inhale to rise back up through center, both legs straighten, arms lift. Exhale again, span wide, open down, arms by the side of your space. Inhale, expand, arms lift to the sky. With exhalation, sink to your own degree. It doesn't have to be super low, so check in, both hands to thighs. With in-breath, elongate through the top of your head. Exhale, rotate your ribs, spin and twist right. Keep it to this side. Inhale, back off through center just a little bit. Exhale, same side, rotate right. Continue to move here. Again, honor your rotation in your body. Final cycle for the twist, your own speed. Inhale through center, exhale, rotate opposite way. Continue to explore a few more rounds here. Final cycle, the twist left. On your inhale, come back through center. Exhale, sink a little bit lower into your legs. Inhale, sprout back up. Legs straighten, arms rise to the sky. Out breath wide open. Release your arms by the side of your space. Adjust your feet more to hip distance or even a little closer. Inhale to circle the arms back up to the sky. With your exhalation, take your hands to your heart center. From here, begin to bend your knees, shift your hips back. Then knees come forward, tail scoops, heart opens, head lifts. So it's a little wave-like motion through your whole body. Let this be an exploration as you undulate your spine. You can even add a little bit of a sound here if that resonates with your little wee at the top. Notice what that creates. Wee. So letting this be like a little roller coaster ripple. One more cycle here. This time around, when you expand up, pause, reverse the motion. Head lowers, bend down. This might take a moment to connect in your body. Knees draw into a bend, round in, open and expand. It's moving in the opposite way. And check in if this is a little bit harder, if the brain takes a few moments to coordinate the movement. So no right or wrong way in doing this, simply listening, experimenting. And final cycle here. Next time you lengthen, pause everything at center space, release your arms, step up to the front edge of your space if you're not already there. Inhale to lengthen arms, rise to the sky. With exhalation, hinge at your hips, fold forward right into a forward bend. Inhale to elongate, partway rise, little bend in the knees, welcome. Exhale to fold back down. Gradually step your right foot back behind, option for props here. Lower your back knee down to the earth and check in if you need support with your back knee. With inhale, expand, rise up. Torso level with your hips, shoulders stacked, arms expand. Inhale, full breath. With your exhalation, take your right arm down by the side of your space. Inhale, move your right arm to the sky. Exhale, left arm lowers down, half sun breath. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, both hands release down. Take a moment here to adjust. Back foot spins open, so adjust a little bit your knee as well. Draw your hips a little bit more towards the wide edge of your space. Ensure your back knee is supported. Inhale to open through a little mini warrior two pose. Feel free to look out in front. Honoring the range of your hips here. The hips do not need to be flat to the long edge of your mat. Any angle is welcome. With your next breath, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands fold down through center this time. Release the arms back to T position. One more deep breath. With the exhalation, lower your forearm onto your front thigh. Take your right arm either skyward or up and over for the side body stretch. Inhale back through center space. With your exhalation, windmill the hands down. Adjust your back foot, back knee super mindful, back toes curled. Inhale to lift. Create a little rock forward, back. One more breath here. And with an exhalation, take your time. Step up to the front edge of your space. Forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway up. With exhalation, bend your knees, shift the weight back, root down. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hand to your heart. Create this wave-like motion we did before. Bend your knees come forward, undulate with your spine one time. Slowly relax, torso back neutral, arms release. Inhale to expand, arms circle to the sky. With exhalation, lower as you fold. In breath to lengthen, partway rise. Exhale, fold back down. Support yourself here, left foot steps back behind. Adjust back knee down to your mat. Legs strong. In breath to lift. Shoulders stack with your hips. Deep full breath. With an exhalation this time, circle the arms back behind. Take either your fingertips to interlace. You can always use a strap here or any sort of rolled towel to grab wider out if the shoulders feel very tense. With your inhalation, release your arms. Sweep the arms back to the sky. Exhale, lower your hands down. Adjust yourself with your back knee here. As you draw the foot out to the side, honoring your range of motion with your hips. Open for mini warrior two pose. Back toes can be curled or uncurled. If your toes are uncurled, top of the foot anchors down, so there's still activation for your calf. With an inhale, sweep arms to the sky. Exhale, hands fold down through heart center. Inhale again, sweep the arms. Exhale, lengthen out through your right fingertips, forearm to front thigh. Take your time, either arm to the sky or extend the arm overhead. Notice what's happening with your right shoulder and right side body. If there's a collapse here, stay buoyant. If you want even more fire, you can hover your hand or draw the palm to your torso, belly. Taking the option that serves you in this moment. In breath to rise back up through neutral. Exhale, release, hands down to the support of the earth, props. Inhale, lift your back knee, create a little freedom here for your knee, gentle rock, forward, back. And with an exhale, take your time, a few steps to the front edge of your space, forward bend. Inhale to elongate, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, shift the weight back, legs strong. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands fold to heart center. Take the little bend of your knees. Inhale, shift forward, undulating motion. Chin to the sky, return, center, arms release. Inhale to circle, arms rise to the sky. With exhale, lower your self back down to forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold back down to the ground. Take your time, move any props out of the way as you step back. Your feet, hips high for downward facing dog pose. Always option to take puppy stretch here instead of down dog. If this is too intense, hips in line with knees, arms out in front, still active, forehead to earth or prop. Finding your place in the posture. Make any little movements. With an in breath, gradually roll forward, high plank pose, top of a push-up, always option for knees to ground. Stabilize one long line from your heels to the top of your head. Inner Armstrong as if you had a huge block or beach ball there. One more inhale. Exhale, knees can release, or from there, bend your elbows. Take your time, slowly come onto the ground. Lengthen your legs, stay hip distance, thumbs slide back by the side of your breastbone, elbows to sky. With the glutes squeezed, inhale to lift and lengthen. Lengthen more than lift for Cobra pose. Exhale, lower back down, use your breath. Inhale, come back up, elongate forward in your posture. A few more times to move with your breath. Next time you rise up into the pose, opportunity here to build a little bit more fire. Feel free to sustain. If it's too much, keep in the movement. If you need even another layer of heat, once you're sustaining the posture, inner leg strong, glutes engaged, float your palms off of the earth. See what that does to your experience. Chin stays down so the cervical spine can have length here. Deep breathing. With exhalation, slowly release all the way. Use the support of your toes, curl them, inhale to lift through tabletop position, rise up. From here, mindful as you swing your hips to one side, extend your legs out. In front, extend both of your legs long. If your hamstrings are a little bit more contracted, bend your knees for support of your low spine. Inner leg super strong. If you have a block, grab it, place it in between your inner thighs. And from here, in breath, to lengthen your arms out in front. Staff pose. Root into the sitting bones, lengthen through your spine. You might feel this at your core and low back. This is the intention. Building a little bit more fire here. Check in with your mind. Where are your thoughts, your focus? Bring your attention back to this opportunity, this moment. Know that you can always release earlier than I guide if it becomes way too intense. Continuing to listen deeply here. One more breath in. With exhale, gradually relax. Have your block near you for support. Either keep the legs long or bend your knees for low spine support. Inhale again, lengthen here. With exhalation, make your way all the way down onto the earth. Interlace your hands behind the top of your head. And with the in-breath, lift your head off of the ground. Shoulders stay pretty rooted. Top of the shoulders do lift though. With inhale, hug your knees to center. Extend your legs to the sky. Exhale, slowly lower your legs down. It can either be to 45 degrees if the low spine allows. Bring lower to hover. Bend your knees. Inhale to lift. Legs to the sky. Exhale again, either pause at 45, honoring your lumbar spine, or to hover, bend your knees in. A few more cycles here in this water wheel motion. You can always take a break at any point. Honoring any little turbulence, shaking, head supporting, or hands rather supporting your head and neck. One more cycle here. Next time your legs are long, pause them. Inhale, reverse, lift up to the sky, bend your knees, either extend straight out or to 45 degrees for less. Inhale to scoop, lift. Exhale, bend, extend. A few more cycles. Relax through your mouth, your jaw. One more time here, bend your knees, extend 45 or straight, scoop up, inhale to lift. With exhale, knees bend both feet onto the earth. Relax your arms, your head by the side of your space. Take a deep breath in. With the out breath, let it go. Noticing how it feels to move in your own body in various different ways. From here, bring your hands into fists. This is a very ancient practice. If you're able to make a little bit of sound and noise, please join in. If you're not, respect your space and see how much you can engage in this. Start to tap your fist down onto the earth. Then your feet join. This is called the tantrum. Just releasing any tension that you might have built up. Take a deep breath in. Optional sounding here. It's a little slowing it down, pause, feel any reverberation, sensation. And with your inhale, hug your knees to center. Two options, either roll to one side, fetal pose to transition into down dog, or hands behind your hamstrings, mindful of the spine as you roll forward, ankles crossed, hands out in front. Take a moment, step back, downward dog. Arrive there at your own rhythm. Take a moment to stabilize in down dog, spine long, hips back. With an inhalation, expand your right leg up to the sky, three-legged downward facing dog pose. Exhale, step your right foot through in between your hands. Take your time stepping there, can be many steps. With the legs stable, in breath, rise up through crescent lunge pose. Relax through your shoulders. Shoulders stacked with hips. If your ribs are jutting way forward here, creating an overcurve of your lumbar spine, soften through your front body to create evenness back behind. Deep inhale. With your exhale, right hand lowers down. In breath, right arm rises. Exhale, back arm lowers. Left arm inhale, left arm floats back up. One more breath in. Exhale to open warrior two stance. Back foot can step out wider out for hip support. You get to choose how far you sink into your front thigh. Less sink is just as welcome and can build fire. Inner leg strong. Lengthen from your hips to your shoulders, gaze out in front. And from here, start to add a little bit of motion to your warrior two in the upper body. So as if there was a wave in your upper body. Notice if your mind comes in and says, you look silly, and then thank it for sharing. So let this be an explorative movement, whatever it looks like for you. With your next breath, pause, lengthen out through the right forearm. Exhale, lower forearm to front thigh. Side angle pose, either arm to the sky or over. You always have the option to hover, hand to torso, belly. Inhale to rise back up through center, front leg can straighten to release your hip. Exhale, windmill the hands all the way down to the earth. Step back, high plank pose. Take your time, inhale, breath. With exhale, lower all the way down onto the ground. Cobra option, or this time in breath to lift, legs, torso, squeeze your glutes, arms expand to the side, locust pose. Inner legs active here too, as if you were squeezing a block, just a hip distance. One more breath. Out breath to release. Hands plant, curled toes. In breath, lift up through high plank or tabletop. Make your way down dog, your own rhythm. Mindful of your attention. Inhale, left leg high to the sky, three-legged. Exhale, step slowly to the front edge of your mat. Adjust your stance. Leg strong, in breath to rise up. Torso and arms for Crescent lunge pose. Back knee can bend as much as you need, especially if you're in the little, what I call dismount pose, where the ribs are jutting way forward. This will help to create evenness through your spine. Inhalation. With exhale, lower your hands back behind, interlace if you can remember, opposite thumb on top from the last time you were here. Stretch your knuckles back, open through your front body. Inhale to release, arms rise back up to the sky. Exhale, spin, open, warrior two, your own angle in your hips. Back foot again can go wider for hip support. Inner legs hug in as if you had a ginormous block in between. Arms to T, gaze to left fingertips. Deep breaths. Gradually here, invite a little bit of explorative motion. Can bend the arms, the elbows, create a different form from your normal warrior two pose. Let it be a play, an exploration. Now, honor any resistance that comes up, especially if you're used to moving in a more prescribed or sequenced way in your yoga. And slowly return back, arms to T. Inhale, lengthen forward. With exhale, lower forearm to front thigh, or any other options here that serve you for side angle pose. Acknowledging if there's heat building on the left quad. Notice if you're clenching through your toes, invite them to ground, but still be spacious. In breath, rise back up, front leg straightens. Exhale, windmill the hands all the way down to the earth. Step back, high plank pose, top of a push-up, deep breath. Exhale, move all the way to the ground, cobra, or again, locust pose. Squeeze through the glute muscles, little scoop in the tail to tone the low belly, still focusing on length here. Inhale, breath. Exhale to release. Hands back down, curled toes, tabletop, or inhale, reverse plank. Exhale, press back, downward dog. This time in your down dog, draw your feet together. In breath here with the exhalation. Bend your knees, swivel your heels to the right. Bend your hips to your own degree of depth. In breath through middle. Exhale, swivel heels to the opposite side. It's a little movement in down dog. One more time, whichever side you're at next, let it be your last. Inhale through center space. Exhale, lower your knees back down to the ground. Gradual transition again here, hips to the earth. Legs come out in front. Make sure you have your prop handy to support you here. With the inhalation, lengthen through your spine. On the exhale, lean a little back. Hands can stay on the ground behind your hamstrings or come out in front. If you have your block, place it in between your inner thighs. Try to match your hip distance as best you can for your own body. A little bit more core activation here. Lots of length in your spine. One more inhale. Exhale, release your feet down. Take a moment. Embrace your body here. And gradually shift your weight back behind, taking your own version of the pose here. If it's available for you, start to lengthen out to your degree. So it doesn't have to be a full hover right above the floor. You can choose your own level. So it's an inhale to rise, exhale to sink back and hover. Inhale to rise, exhale to sink back and hover. One more cycle here. Next time you're hovering, wherever that is in your own range, pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. Relax all the way down to the earth. Take a breath. Open mouth, exhale, option. And slowly here, bend your knees. If your block is there, grab it. Place your block or book underneath of your sacrum. Lift your hips lower down for supported bridge pose with the arms long by the side of your body, head and shoulders relaxed. Inhale to elongate. Your right leg straight up to the sky. You can always have a micro bend in the knee here. Exhale to lower first your foot to hip height. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Working on the hip flexor here. Let this be mindful movement. If this feels pretty supportive and comfortable, lower your foot to tap down to the ground. Inhale to lift to your own degree. Exhale, lower and tap. Inhale to lift. So you might become fatigued in the muscle more quickly. So honoring that, you can always pause when that happens. Sometimes tight hip flexors are not needing more stretch, but they actually need more strengthening. This is one great way to do it. But going a few more cycles here. Three more if it's available for you. Otherwise, take a little pause. Final cycle to tap. Inhale to lift. With the exhale, bend your knee, lower your foot down to the earth, and take a moment to notice and feel. With inhale, switch sides, left leg extends up to the sky. Exhale, lower foot towards hip height first. Make your best estimate of where that is. And from there, if this feels pretty comfortable on this side, start to explore a little tap of your heel, then lift. And check in what your mind is telling you, if there are any labels floating in about your experience. See if you can let this be the meditation, the focus. Noticing what's going on in your hip flexor, in your leg. If you become fatigued earlier on in your muscle, take a break. Otherwise, keep going just a little bit longer here. Three more cycles. Final time to tap, heel to the earth. Inhale, lift your leg, bend your knee, both feet or foot back to the ground. Take a moment to notice. Keep your focus at your left hip flexor. What are you aware of? And from there, gradually activate through your legs, forearms, shoulders. Inhale to rise, hips and pelvis off of the earth. Take your block out of the way, lower your sitting bones down to the ground. Feet separate wider out to mat distance or just wider if you're not using a mat. Start to windmill and windshield wiper your legs side to side. From here, option to add the upper body as well. As your knees float over to the left side, extend your right arm up and over, so as if you were waking up, yawning stretch. Over the opposite side, reach to your own degree. Inhale to center, exhale, little reach and twist. Let it be a play of movement. One other refinement here, focus on your top hip extending forward. So as if you had a hand pressing the hip forward, or actually more to the side that you're twisting towards. That might make better sense. One more time to each side. And gradually return back to center space. Again, if you have your block prop, place it in between your inner thighs. Root into your feet, shoulders, back of the head presses even just a bit. With the inhale, scoop your tail, start to lift your hips, squeeze your glutes, rise up, bridge pose. Option to scooch shoulders under, interlace your hands. Otherwise, keep the arms long, active towards the ground. Three more cycles of deep, slow breaths here in bridge pose. Always option to release earlier, listening to your own wisdom. One more breath. Exhale, slowly release back down. Once you land, relax through your shoulders if they've scooched under. Take your block, move it to the side of your space. Take a moment to receive here. With an inhalation, hug your knees to center space, happy baby pose, open wide, knees to the right and left, feet to the sky, hands either to your knees, calves, ankles, or the soles of the feet, only if your low back and sacrum can still comfortably be towards the ground. If you're not feeling enough there in your groin, do a little gentle tug with arm strength, feet press back to the sky. You can stay right here in a static place, or if it is soothing for you, a gentle rock from side to side. 3 more rounds of breath here and happy baby pose. With an exhale, slowly release your feet back down to the earth. Bring your arms to either T position, shoulder height, or cactus. Bend at the elbows. Extend your left leg long onto the earth. From here, use the right foot as your support. Lift your hips and pelvis, slide everything to the right side, land, and gradually spin and twist your knee over to the left side. Right shoulder is your base here in the twist. If you feel too much sensation on your low spine, create a little scoop in your tail. Head can stay at center or rotate to your right fingertips. If there's any tension on the right side of your hip or knee, place a prop underneath of your right knee to fill in the space and relieve the tension. Relax through your mouth, your jaw. And use your next inhaling breath, lift right knee back through center space. Adjust your hips and pelvis here to neutral. Extend right leg long, left knee bends. Left foot to the earth. Use it again to lift. Hips slide a little bit left. Keeping this now, twist your left knee to the right side. Left shoulder is your anchor, your base. Notice what's happening from the upper back, upper shoulder, all the way down to the hip crease. I'm checking in with the lines of this twisting pose. How much is enough for you to feel some sensation, but ensuring it's not over the top. Soften through your forehead, your ears, cheekbones. And use your inhaling breath to lift back up to center. Take your time here to return your hips and pelvis to neutral. Rebend the knees one more time here. Once again, grab your block or book prop. Inhale to lift your hips and pelvis. Slide underneath of the sacrum for support here. They remain right there in a supported bridge pose. If you want to amplify your inversion a little more, bend your knees. Take your feet towards the sky for supported shoulder stand. In supported shoulder stand, you might feel some cooling or tingling in your feet as the blood flow reverses. This is normal. Honoring your own place in the pose, wherever you're at, sustaining for 5 more rounds of slow breath, always knowing you can come out earlier. And if your legs are lifted skyward, use a soft exhale breath to bend your knees more deeply, feet land back onto the earth. Energize the strength of your legs, little press in your forearms and shoulders. Inhale to lift off of your block prop. Exhale to land back to the ground. And from there, extend your legs long onto the earth, coming into this little wave-like motion I described and showed at the beginning. Start to flap your feet forward, back, so much so that your whole back body gets a little undulating massage. Open your mouth, relax to your jaw, let it ripple up into the facial architecture as well. And creating this undulating wave for a little bit longer here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gradually relax, pause, let everything soften. Make any final adjustments here to create more comfort for yourself. Relax your eyes, cover your eyes if a prop is handy nearby. And take your time, give yourself this space to be, to pause, to rest and receive your practice. Full permission to let go, to simply be. And I'll chime back in several minutes to guide you back out. And very slowly become more aware of your body as you rest here. Note that if you have more time to be in pause and relaxation, feel free to stay as you're doing right now. Otherwise, allowing for the breath to reawaken. Invite in some gentle movements with fingers, toes. Any other motions, movement of your hips or legs, head and neck. And with the soft inhale, knees rise to center, roll over to one side or the other in a fetal position. From this place of nurturance, compassion, find a comfortable way to rise back up. Take a seat, use any props that you need to ensure your spine feels elongated. Relax your eyes partway or completely closed. Hands relax at the legs. Once you've settled in, taking a minute or two here to simply be, to pause and savor your engagement with the practice. Let your focus land at what you're aware of in your physical body, or simply concentrate on tracing the motion of breath as it moves all by itself. Belly center, tips of nostrils, or anywhere else you can observe with ease. And gradually, with mindfulness, bring your palms to touch in front of your heart space to honor yourself for showing up, your intention for the practice, each other's company, and this ability that we all have to move in creative ways and diverse ways for the sake of body health, mental health. Gently bow your head to your own heart, acknowledging your wisdom, your strength. Namaste.